What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is the Memphis League Cup Finals, and I want to give a thanks to everybody who stuck around, watched the 2 days worth of League Cups. And as you know, in top 4, we saw Kenton Anderson, who's on your left, advance to the finals, taking down the Vespiquen GX Garbodor deck. And on the right, we have Sam Leggett, who we saw round 1 play his Raichu Vespiquen deck, and we saw him take down a Zork Umbreon deck. So here we are in the finals. We'll have Decidueye versus Vespiquen Raichu, and you got to think that Sam is going to have a little bit of problem if Kenton gets like that turn to Vileplume, but Sam does play Flareon, and that Flareon can do a lot of damage to a Decidueye, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this matchup goes, and who wins the coin flip is a big deciding factor, because if Kenton gets a coin flip and goes first, and it is going to be heads, and Kenton will go first. I remember being there, and Kenton was about to flip it, and Sam was like, no, I'm flipping it, you always win, and then Sam flipped it, and Kenton still won. So yeah, both these players very, very well at very good at Pokemon. As you see, Sam Leggett has been on the world since 2010. There is his mat there. He's made top 4 at U.S. Nationals, and Kenton Anderson on your left, he's made multiple Worlds appearances, making top 32, has won states, made a lot of kind of regionals. So we're gonna have a really good match here to see two great players from the Memphis area, see what is going to happen, and who will take home the title of Memphis League Cup for the, I guess, the summer session. But we see Sam does mold again, and that's something you never want to do when you're playing against the Decidueye, because they need all the cards they can get to try to get that turn 1 Vileplume. Because if it happens, I mean, what can you do if you're Vespiquen? Like, you're like, I need Pokemon in the discard pile, but now I can't because I don't have access to my Ultra Balls and stuff like that. So we'll see Sam try again, take number 2. I'm going to get those 7 cards out into play, and let's see, does Sam find a Pokemon to put out and get this game kicked off? And I do see the Eevee in his hand. So, yep, you do see the Eevee in his hand. And it is just for the Flareon to hit for weakness on like Metagross and Grass Pokemon, obviously. So, Sam is going to start with that Combi and the Eevee. Alright, and we're going to have ourselves a Gaze. Oh, Sam has 3 Pokemon, okay. And yeah, we'll see 6 prizes come down, and let's see, who do you want to win, guys? Do you want Decidueye, or do you want this Vespiquen Raichu to take it? So we see Kenton start with the Tapu Lele, unfortunately, and we'll see Kenton draw a card. Now, he does have a DCE, he's got a Dartrix and a Decidueye in hand, but I don't see a Forest of Giant Plants. If he had that, oh, that'd be dangerous, have a turn 1 Forest Decidueye combo thing. But we'll see Ultra Ball. It looks like he's opting to discard a Decidueye and a, oh, now it looks like an Ultra Ball on Tapu Lele. He probably wants to dig for a Shaman and hit one of his 4 his Forest of Giant Plants. If he does this, he'll get a turn 1 Dartrix and start using that Feather Arrow. If he gets 2, Decidueye, not Dartrix, but if he gets 2 Decidueyes down, he can start using double Feather Arrow and knock out the active Combi, which is really strong. Or he could put the pressure on Eevee and do some snipe to that, because if he can knock out the Eevee before it evolves, then it can't become a Flareon, and his stage 1s do not become fire types. So we see Kenton drawing a bunch of cards, but I don't see him get anything, and it looks like we might see a Sycamore discarding a Dartrix and a Decidueye. Now you might think this is bad, but Kenton does play those Revitalizers, get those back into his hand, and if he finds a Forest plus Revitalizer, we'll still see a turn 1, and there we see a Revitalizer, we see the Forest, gonna get back the Dartrix and Decidueye, and he'll have a turn 1 Decidueye, which is fantastic. So we'll see Dartrix, Decidueye. He's got some other stuff in his. I don't think he has anything else outside of that, though. He does have a Grass Energy, so you can start using Rage Leaf next turn. And where do you put this 20 damage again? I think you put on the Eevee, and you try to knock it out next turn if you find another Decidueye. So we'll most likely see a pass for Kenton. Can't really do too much else. He does have an in hand, but he's already played a Sporter card. And on a Sam's turn, let's see what happens. So he draws a War Point. He can use that if he wants to bring that Decidueye up, but it really doesn't do anything. We've seen Acrobike. He's got a Flowstone and Raichu. It looks like he's going to discard the Raichu to put more Pokemon in the discard pile. We see a Flowstone to the Eevee, giving that free treat, and there we see a War Point from Kenton. Now, Kenton's most likely going to send the Decidueye. It is not in any harm's way. Oh, he's going to send the Shaman, actually. Alright, so going to send the Shaman. And we see another Acrobike from Sam, has a Tapu Lele and a Special Charge. That's 2 cards you kind of don't want to see. Unless Sam already has a Supporter card, then discarding Tapu Lele is fine. And we see an end, both players will show up against 6 new cards. Now, I guess Kenton's worried about like a turn 1 Vespiquen, and You know, because Kenton did put that Force Giant Plants down, which makes, you know, Vespiquen come out turn 1. And maybe that's what he's scared of, is Sam getting a ton of pressure on that Decidueye and already putting some damage on it. So I can kind of see how you can go either way with this decision. So we'll see both players shuffle up and allow both players shuffle up and draw a card for each prize card remaining, so that both get 6 because neither player has taken a prize card just yet. So, let's see, does Sam find anything else? He's got a Feral Letter. He can use that to discard the Unknown off the bench to draw a card if he wants to. We see a Choice Band going down to the Eat Combi. And I know I keep saying Silverangle and stuff like that. I'm just so used to saying older cards. So Choice Band, and that was an Escape Rope, not a War Point earlier. But we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Sycamore and a VS Seeker. Ooh, that's an interesting card to discard. His other 2 cards in hand must be like really, really good. And that's why he's opting to keep them. So we might see a Vespiquen maybe, if he already has a Shaman in hand. A Rangaroo, maybe he could put that down and start using a Struct. Maybe a Shaman EX to draw more cards. There's a lot of different things he could do. And he is going to go for that Shaman EX to help set up to draw 4 new cards right now. But can he play down the other cards in his hand to get a full hand of 6 with that setup? And that's what you want to do when you're playing Shaman. You want to get that turn 1, like that full setup and draw 6 cards off it. It's always great when you can do that. So, we see a Shaman. Oh, just going to set it for 4. I think one of the 2 cards was a special charge. I think that's what I saw. And you definitely don't want to discard that. You want to keep that as long as you can. There's a DC going on the Combi. We see a Pikachu come down as well. Now, if you're Sam and you don't have a Vespiquen, you definitely don't commit a DC to that Combi unless you feel like you have another Shaman and you can maybe hit it. So yeah, we're going to see another Shaman. So he's going to dig trying to find a Vespiquen, because if he doesn't, okay, there it is. I was going to say, if he doesn't, that Combi could be knocked out next turn pretty easily if Kenton does get 2 DC, or another Vileplume, not another Vileplume, another Decidueye to use double Feather Arrow. But he does find the Combi, and we see a double Feral Letter. He can Be Revenge. I think it does like 60 right now. Maybe 70. I don't know how many Pokemon. Discard pile. We didn't have a dice out there to like signify how many Pokemon, but both players will know how many Pokemon in there, and I trust both these guys 100%. So let's see. Does Sam have anything else? You definitely don't keep this Eevee in the act spot, because you need the Eevee. You need the Eevee to help you take down the the Decidueyes. So we see the Sudowoodo come down with the roadblock, and we might see the Eevee just retreat into the Sudowoodo and saying, hey, you can knock out Sudowoodo. I don't care. I don't really need it. It does limit Ken's bench down to 4. But let's see what Sam does. Oh, he goes into the Vespiquen actually and just Be Revenge and start putting pressure on Kenton. But if Kenton has a DC, he can Sky Return that Shaman, making this attack pretty much useless. It looks like there's 6 Pokemon, or 7 Pokemon in the discard pile. So we'll see 90 damage coming down from Kenton. So Trainers with Kenton going to get top 4 cards of his deck, and now he's limited to 4 cards. Kenton does find a Floatstone, but it looks like he's going to grab an N, which means he has no supporter card in hand, and his hand must be somewhat good if he doesn't want to Sycamore away. Yeah, so we'll see an N going to his hand, not going to play it, of course. I do see an Ultra Ball, going to discard a Vileplume and a Ultra Ball. There's a most likely grab an Oddish, and I see a Gloom and Vileplume in his hand. Man, oh boy. If he had that Forest out still, he could get a turn. He could get a turn 2 Vileplume right now. But we'll see. Gonna go with that Oddish. Okay. It can't find a Forest, Gloom, Vileplume, and shut down Sam's item cards. Now, even if he doesn't, Feather Arrow is still very deadly against this deck that has low HP. You just start sniping everything for 20, and be good to go. We see a Shaman gonna set up for 3, so this means this is gonna be his only DC. We see a Forest. He does have Gloom and Vileplume in hand. I think he has Gloom and Vileplume. We see Trainers Mill, like a top cards of his deck. Not gonna find anything. We'll see a Gloom and Vileplume and an N. So now Kenton has shut down Sam's item cards, but Kenton is probably going to let this Shaman get knocked out. He really can't save it. It's going to be stuck up there for a little while, and unless he finds a DC to Sky Return, it's going to get knocked out. And if he finds a Grass Energy, I think you just commit the Grass Energy to Decidueye, and you can use Razor Leaf next turn to knock out whoever you want to. You can use a Feather Arrow to that bench Eevee, put some more pressure on it, and saying, hey Sam, if you don't evolve this Eevee to a Flareon, it's going to get knocked out next turn no matter what. So we'll see both players get 6 new cards. Okay, and I see a Grass Energy in Kenton's hand. I do not see a DC though. So I think you go for that play I was talking about. You put a Grass Energy in Decidueye, and you Feather Arrow the bench Eevee, and you say, hey, next turn that Eevee's getting knocked out, and then I can Razor Leaf the active, and we'll both be tied 4-4 on prize cards. So yep, there we go, and we'll see a pass from Kenton on to Sam's turn. Now, it's going to be up to Sam to find a Flareon for the Eevee. If he does not, then Sam's going to be in trouble. He will never be able to really hit 240 with a Vespiquen because you need 22 Pokemon in the discard pile. And I think when I talked to Sam, he only plays 25. So we see his Skyfield coming down. I mean, he could hypothetically do it, but it'd be really difficult. So we see a Raichu coming down. He did put that Skyfield down, so he could use Circle Circuit with the Raichu to do a ton of damage. Kids already play 2 Force of Giant Plants, so sometimes it's hard to counter that back. We see an Ringaroo, we see a DC on Shaman. We're actually going to see a Sky Return for Knockout, and I like this a lot. We see a Ringaroo for 1. Does he find a Flareon or a supporter card? Oh man, it does not seem like it. So it looks like he's going to lose this Eevee, and who will Sam send up here with the Sky Return? He's going to Sky Return for 30. And who does he promote? You can see Sam thinking, what do I do here? Everybody pretty much gets one shot at it. He gets sent at the Shaman and like hope to go for a Sky Return next turn. We see the Eevee going up. He knows the Eevee's going to get knocked out regardless. So I remember being there. He's like, I'm just going to wait a turn and make you knock it out. And then I'm going to decide again. And we see the Eevee immediately get knocked out to a Feather Arrow. And who does Sam send up? Maybe the Decidueye. You could sit in the Shaman. You do have a Sky Return play you could do. Yeah, so like the Shaman won't get knocked out if he goes for if he Razor Leafs the Shaman. Remember, he does have the DC because he just Sky Returned. And let's see who Sam sends up here. Now Sam also has worry about Kenton finding another Decidueye. If Kenton can find another Decidueye and Feather Arrow the active and Razor Leaf, he'll take a knock on it. So we see Force of Giant Plants, and this is actually terrible for Sam because now Sam has to discard a Pokemon, and Shaman EX is not on the. Oh, actually, he has 5 on the bench now. But Grass Energy Tapu Lele. His kid does have a Sycamore in hand, but he has a Revitalizer in hand as well. So we'll see Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And what Kid could do this turn is just like Hollow Hunt to get back 3 cards out of his discard pile. And I see a Dartrix and a Rowlet. Oh man, I see a Dartrix and a Decidueye, but no Rowlet. If he had a Rowlet, he would be able to knock out the Shaman. Oh goodness! Now you see Kenton is going to look through his discard pile to see what can I Hollow Hunt for here, because you definitely don't want to smack the Shaman. We know Sam has a DC in hand. He is just going to Sky Return it if you smack into it. It's really no point. And or he could just pass. Yeah, he could just pass with the Tapu Lele and the active. He's saying, hey, I don't want my Decidueye to get knocked out. I need it tank as long as it can. Now, can Sam take a knockout on this Shaman? Yeah, yes, he can. He can fill his bench up. It'll do Circle Circuit does 20 times the amount of bench Pokemon. So with 8 you do 160. With that Silver Mangle you do 190. So Sam could hypothetically take a knockout here, but he put the DC in the active, and no, he can't. Oh, I am silly. He had to put a DC in the active and then go for a Sky Return. So that is not going to happen. But Sam still bumped that Force of Giant Plants, letting his Skyfield come back online. And saying, hey, I can Circle Circuit for turn of damage in 1 turn or in a couple turns, whenever I need to. So, let's see. Sam is going to Sky Return, but once again, he's in the awkward situation of who do I send up? Who do I let get knocked out? Because his Pokemon all have 90 HP or less, except for Ringaroo and Sudowoodo. But Sudowoodo is weak to grass, he'll get knocked out immediately. Ringaroo has 120, and it has like a 3 retreat cost, so it's not going to retreat fairly well there. Yeah, I don't know who you send up if you're Sam. You're definitely in a pickle right now, unless you can, like, maybe the Unknown. Because you're not losing an attacker and you're still filling up your Vespiquen. But Sam kind of wants to keep the Unknown on the bench just in case he needs a Feral Letter after getting an end or something. We see a Pikachu come down. We see a Combi in his hand. You can see he has a lot of decisions. Combi coming down, okay. And we'll see a Sky Return for 30. And going to send that Kobe. Now, Kenton top decks a Rowlet right... Oh, he doesn't have Forest anymore, so it's not going to matter. Oh, and he top decks a Rowlet. No! Oh, man. There's the Rowlet. He has a Dartrix and Decidueye in hand, but no Forest of Giant Plants. He does have a Lysander. He can Lysander up the Vespiquen or Raichu and take a knock on it. But Sam still has a DC in hand. Let's see what Kenton decides to do here. We could see a Feather Arrow. Maybe put on the Combi. Saying, hey, if you don't have a Vespiquen, I'm going to knock it out next turn. We see a Grass Energy going to the Rowlet. Alright. And what does he do? He has a Lysander and an N in hand. So he could Lysander to Sudowoodo, make sure he has another bench spot, but I don't think that really matters anymore. And we're going to see him knock out the only real attacker on his field, which is the Vespiquen. Yeah, Raichu can swing next turn, but it's really not that scary as of right now. And we'll see a Feather Arrow probably to that Combi, most likely. Saying, hey, if you don't evolve this guy, I'm just going to knock it out with the Bee Revenge, or knock it out with the Feather Arrow. And yep, 20 to that Combi. We'll see your treat, and we'll see a Rage Leaf for the knockout going down to 4 prize cards. So it's going to be 4 to 4 on prize cards. And yeah, we're all tied up here. Now, Sam, go to send that Raichu. It does have free retreat, so that's always really nice. And what can Sam do here? We might see a Circle Circuit. We could maybe see a Bee Revenge, but if he does not get a Vespiquen, he will lose 2 attackers this turn. The Raichu will get knocked out through a Rage Leaf, and then of course the Combi will get knocked out with a Feather Arrow. So Sam is in a tough spot, and you can see why this is a hard matchup for him. Just having a bunch of, Ken has a bunch of high HP attackers. He's got the Vileplume line, shutting down Sam's item cards. He's got the Feather Arrows, start damaging his weak Pokemon if Sam whiffs it. And Sam has a bunch of cards in hand, but I don't think any of them is playable. I think he literally just has a dead hand. And, oh my goodness. Yeah, because if Sam had a DC, he probably just would have slapped it on the Raichu, maybe played a Sycamore, but with playing so many item cards, you kind of get stuck sometimes with the Vileplume just sitting there. So let's see what Sam decides to do with this card in his hand. He's got a DC. Gonna put it in the active. Right now, Circle Circle will do 20, 40, 68, 110. He has a Pikachu in hand, so he could go back to back. No, we're gonna see a Sycamore discarding the Pikachu, which is very interesting. You think he might have put it down, so he can evolve and get another Circle Circle Raichu? Because we see a Raichu in his hand right now, and that could, really happen. He can, get a back-to-back Raichu in the swing. He has a DC in hand as well. So I don't know why he didn't put down the Pikachu. Maybe he wants to do more damage with Bee Revenge or something. Maybe he was doing the math in the head where I don't know, because I think he already does enough with Bee Revenge to take a knockout after he swings with a Circle Circuit here. But yeah, that could be a big game changer for sure. But we'll see a Circle Circuit for 110, 20, 40, 60, 80, 110 with the Choice Band. And on the Ken's turn, he does have a Dartrix come down. He's got a DC. He could put that on there. He's just going to manually evolve this Decidueye. We'll see a Feather Arrow to the Combi for the knockout, going down to 3 prize cards. Does Sam find does Kenton find a Forest? I don't see one, but I definitely think you just Rage Leaf here, take a knockout, going down to 2. And then you have another Decidueye who could tank for 2 turns, because Sam's not going to be able to knock it out. So we'll see a Rage Leaf going down to 2 prize cards. What can Sam do here? He literally can't even attack. He has no attacker on the bench. If he had put down that Pikachu, he could have evolved this turn, got a Raichu, Circle Circuit, but still, he'd be in a terrible position because this new Decidueye that's about to come up can't be one-shotted, and he'll have to go for 2 shots. But, Sam could have had a Lysander. Yeah, he did have a Lysander, so Sam, he could have maybe won this game if that would have happened. So we'll see a pass on to Kent's turn. We'll see 2 Decidueyes down, so he can start using double Feather Arrow. Maybe put it on a Sudowoodo. You really don't want to put it on the Unknown because he could just Farewell Letter, and it's really not going to be worth it. But yeah, Sam, I think he could have maybe, definitely for sure have won by now if he had put down that Pikachu. But who knows? We'll see 40 damage going down to Ringaroo, and we'll see a pass on the Sam's turn. And this is the bad thing about playing against Decidueye. You can try to license a Vileplume to try to buy you time, buy you a couple turns, but with that Feather Arrow, you just constantly keep putting 40 damage, 40 damage, 40 damage, and you can eventually start knocking out Pokemon. Yeah, it might take 4, 8, 12, 16, 5 turns to knock out an EX, but Kenton has plenty of cards left. He can buy that for sure. So let's see what Sam does here. Do we see a I don't even know what a Ringaroo. I think it's called Psychic as a Ringaroo's attack. But even then, does Sam have enough DCEs left to even do this? I don't think so. I think he's in trouble for sure. I think Sam is just trying to kill time right now and just trying to think of a way. How can I do this? Well, there's pretty much not a way, and you should just scoop and go to game 2. I really think not putting down that Pikachu really did hurt Sam a lot, not having an attacker. So we'll see a Farewell Letter. Gonna draw a card, and it looks like it's not a very good one because he's not doing anything with it. But what can he really do? Yeah, I mean, he's in trouble. But let's see what Sam decides to do here. We might just, yep, see a pass on to Kenton's turn. Kenton's going to draw another card. We'll probably see another double, we'll probably see a double feather to the active and another pass from Kenton. Kenton really doesn't need to retreat this Vileplume. He's just going to sit there and be like, yep, this Vileplume's up here, but who cares? Sam is going to put down a Combi, but it only has 40 HP, and Kenton can just double feather for the knockout. There's no force of giant plants in play, and you got to think Kenton does not play, Sam does not play that, and we see double feather to that Combi immediately, and now we'll see a pass on a Sam's turn, and we'll see Sam unfortunately lose here, and see a DCE Lysander bringing up that Decidueye, and we'll see a Psychic. I don't know if he takes the knockout here. It might. I don't know. Either way, Sam loses. He can just raise leave. I don't think it did enough because you see, and I don't know. I can't remember how much Rengaru does. I guess I should look that up just in case it does happen. But that was game number 1. I think, you know, the Vileplume did shut down Sam, but I think Sam did have a chance to do that. I mean, before he played that Sycamore, he had a Pikachu in hand. Unless I'm missing something, guys, let me know if I'm missing something. Could he not have played down the Pikachu? I mean, he had a Skyfield down. He could have done more damage with Circle Circuit. Maybe he just, like, overthought it. It was like, hey, this card's not useful. I'm not going to put it down. Maybe he thought he had all of his Raichus discarded. I'm not sure. I don't have the answer to that question, but I know it's going to bug me, and I might have to make Sam watch this video and be like, why didn't you put down the Pikachu there? But, guys, we're shuffling up game number 2. And we're going to see what happens. Will Kenton win game number 2? Will Sam make a comeback and win game number 2 and go to game number 3? In these top cuts, it is best 2 out of 3, 50 minutes. So we have plenty of time. That game took 20 minutes by the clock on OBS. So, yeah. Both players will shuffle up and we'll have a game number 3. And who do you want to see win? Do you want to see Sam's kind of unique Raichu Vespiquen deck? I haven't seen a Raichu Vespiquen deck in such a long time, but Sam's like, yeah, this deck's really good. I'm playing it. Or do you want to see good old faithful Decidueye Vileplume, which is a deck I love? And Ken's actually just using my deck list, my deck. Ken was like, I'm just gonna play the deck whatever you don't play, and I decided not to play Decidueye for the day and just gave it to Kenton. And here we are in the finals. Kenton playing that deck makes me so happy. But here we go, guys. Both players are gonna set up. We see Kenton does get a mulligan. Yep. And Sam starts that Combi. No. The only problem with Sam is he doesn't play Forest. He plays Skyfields instead, so he can do a ton of damage with Raichu. So that Combi could hypothetically get knocked out if Ken finds double Decidueye, because he can use double Feather Arrow and start putting the pressure on. We see Ken. I don't know what card that was, but I don't think it was a green Pokemon. Sam's going to draw his mulligan, and yeah, it was a Shaman. That's what I thought. I didn't think it was a green Pokemon. And once again, Ken has a Dartrix and Decidueye, but no Rowlet in hand. We see his Acroplike going to discard a VS Seeker. We see a Pikachu coming down. We see a DC going down to the Pikachu. And we see an end. So both players will shuffle up. Ken's probably thinking Sam because Ken's hand wasn't the best. He didn't have a crazy Forest turn 1 Wombo combo thingy Mabobber. But yeah, he could draw into it now with these 6 new cards. You can get like a Force, 1-1 line of Decidueye, maybe a Sycamore, a DCE for a Sky Return, knock out Combi. There's a lot of things that can happen here. So we'll see both players going to get 6 new cards. Once again, neither player has taken a prize card in this opening game, so they both get a new hand of 6. And I mean, no, that's a Gloom in Kenton's hand. I see Gloom. I see a Tapu Lele. I see some other stuff. There's a Sudowoodo immediately coming down, which you gotta think annoys Kenton, because Kenton can only have 4 bench spots. We see a DC going out to the Pikachu, or not a DC, a Choice Band, and we'll see a pass on the Kenton's turn. So, we see a Love Ball, okay. I see Kenton does have a Decidueye line, so we're going to see a Tapu Lele and a Love Ball happening at the same time. Don't worry, I know it might be confusing, but he's going to use a Love Ball and Tapu Lele just to save time. We'll see an end come down, and Kenton will play the end. I think he had a Gloom, 2 Decidueye GXs, and some other trainer card that was not useful, obviously. So both players will shuffle up against 6 new cards, and obviously what Kenton wants is a DCE for Dartrix Decidueye. It's a lot to ask for, but remember he plays a lot of counts of those cards because he wants to draw into those a lot. But I actually don't see that. I see an Oddish, and it looks like we might see a pass on a Kenton's turn. I mean, on to Sam's turn, and yeah, just pass on to Sam's turn. Wow, if you're Sam here, you got to be excited. This is the opening you want in game number 2. You want a Circle Circuit. You want to knock out that Shaman. We see another unknown. Shaman is weak to Lightning. We see a DC going on a Vespiquen, okay? And does Sam have a Love Ball for an Ultra Ball or Love Ball for a Raichu? Maybe play Sycamore. He's got it in the discard pile. He has 3 Feral Letters as well, so Feral Letter number 1. Okay, I think that was another unknown, maybe. Oh, no, Shaman. Okay, gonna set up for 3. Okay. Can he find an Ultra Ball or hey Raichu? See an Acrobike? Look at touch cards of his deck. There's a Vespiquen and a Vespiquen. Alright, that's not 2 cards he wants. I mean, he can put the Vespiquen in discard pile and Vespiquen for an in, and then play some unknowns, maybe. I think you definitely Feral Letter first, and then in, so another Feral Letter. Alright, that's a Sycamore. We see another unknown coming down, okay. We'll see another Farewell Letter happening. Is it an Ultra Ball? Oh my goodness, Sam's looking at his hand. He's like, where's my Raichu? He gets another in, okay. 20, I mean, he can go for another Farewell Letter. We see a Rangaroo coming down, okay. We'll see another Farewell Letter to draw another card. Does he find an Ultra Ball? Nope, it's not an Ultra Ball just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so he's doing 70 right now with a Vespiquen. He has a Silverangle, which is 100. Oh my goodness. I mean, I think you attach a Silverangle to the active and just try to find something. Like, if he finds a Raichu or something after this end, I don't think he plays Sycamore here. I mean, he might play Sycamore just to try to dig deeper. And it's like, but you have so many resources in your hand. Yeah, so goes the end. Both players shuffle up, and can Sam find a way to discard another Pokemon? It looks like he already has 4 unknowns in the discard pile. He has 1 Vespiquen, but if he finds an Ultra Ball, he can discard a Pokemon, get a Raichu, and I think you would actually... I don't know who you would swing with here. Both Vespiquen... Well, I guess... Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... I mean, if he finds an Ultra Ball and a Pokemon in this card, who do you send in to attack? I don't know. I guess it's like a preference kind of thing. Probably the Raichu to save your Vespiquen for later on. If something crazy happen. But does Sam find either one of those, or will we see him whiff? There's an Acrobike. Look at top 2 cards of his deck. It is not a special charge. It's not a Pokemon. Oh my goodness. It looks like Sam is not going to find a knockout. Oh my goodness gracious. That is insane. He's only going to be revenge for 100. Only be revenge. I know it's crazy to say. But yeah, we'll see 100 damage coming down. He missed a Raichu. He missed an Ultra Ball. There's so many cards he drew, but whiffed it. Oh my goodness. That is very... Oh man, that kind of just stinks for Sam there. So we'll see a Silverangle, a Choice Band going down to the Shaman. Once again, I apologize if I say Silverangle. They kind of do the same exact thing, and I am so used to saying Silverangle right now. So we'll see a Vespiquen 4 in. This is just getting ready if Kenton does get a turn to Vileplume out in the field. And we're going to see a Be Revenge for 100, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. Alright, yep. Now, what Sam could do here is maybe go for Intelligence Gathering to do 30 or 40 and draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. But, I mean, he might already have a full hand of 6. So, yep, just go ahead and do that instead. And let's see what Kenton does here. He's got a... there's a DCE, so he can Sky Turn. We'll see a Trainer's Mail, look at top cards of his deck. Does he find a Forest? I don't see one in hand. He's got a Dartrix he can put down. And can find a Forest and get all of his grass Pokemon attackers, or Pokemon guys on the field, like a Vileplume, like a Decidueye, and start putting pressure on his opponent. So we see Sycamore going to discard a Rowlet and a Sycamore, going to draw 7 new cards, and let's see, what does Kenton find here? He's got a Forest. I see an Ultra Ball, I see a Shaman, but once again, his bench is limited to just 4 Pokemon, so he really can't get... Oh man, that's very unfortunate. We see a Gloom coming down. He's got a Trainer's Mail, like the top 4 cards of his deck, and what he could do is actually just Ultra Ball for a Vileplume, and Sky turns into the Tapu Lele. What this does, it makes it where Sam cannot take a knockout. Obviously, you get a Vileplume field, so that's fantastic. And, yeah, I think that's a fine play if you do decide to do that here. Just grab the Vileplume, just saying, hey, Sam, you're really not going to do anything anymore. I know you have an in already, so I'm fine with that. And, yeah, we're going to see Kenton do that. We're going to see him grab the Vileplume, put that down, And we're going to see a Sky return for 30. Probably sitting at the top of Lele. Ken doesn't really care if it gets hit. It's not going to get one-shotted. And he can start maybe building up a Decidueye. Now remember, Sam does have an in hand, so Ken knows this. He knows he's going to get a new hand of 6 and be fine with this. So yeah, we're going to see a Sky return for 30. Sit at the top of Lele, come up and tank for a turn. So 30 damage coming down to Decidueye. On a Sam's turn, let's see what happens. Now, Sam could opt not to play the in, but if he needs to draw to like Raichus and find an Eevee, he kind of has to play an in or Sycamore. So yeah, Sam is definitely, he almost had the turn 1 knockout, but man, he barely missed it. Oh man. So let's see on the Sam's turn, some counter cards in his discard pile, what's all in there. Kid does have a DC and Shaman. He has 2 Shamans actually. So is he a Lysander, bring in the Vileplume. And, you know, Ken's actually okay with this. It might seem bad, but remember, Kenton can easily just get into the Vileplume out. He does play like a bunch of Revitalizers. As you see, there's a Revitalizer in his hand. So what Kenton can do now is put a DC on that. Dartrix, Shaman for 4. Trying to hit a Decidueye. We see a Vileplume by Decidueye, and we're going to see a Decidueye come down. So he has an option here. He can put 20 on the active, and the next turn find another Decidueye and take a knockout on that Kobe or on the Vespiquen. He could put 20 on a Pikachu, and then next turn double Feather Arrow against that Pikachu to knock it out. He has an option of what does he want to do here? Where does he put these 20 at? Either way, he can knock out. And no, gonna put on the Ringaroo instead. Okay. And we see Sam immediately took that dice off. Sam's like, no, I like my blue dice. I'm using that instead. And we see a pass on to Sam's turn. Okay. So remember, Sam does have the in hand, but does he want to play it? Sam's like, all right, if I knock out this Vileplume, I'm going to be able to use my item cards next turn. So he really doesn't mind that. We see Sam trying to figure out if he should go for Sky Return, but a Sky Return will not knock out a Vileplume. It only brings him to 100. So that would not work. Yeah. So let's see what Sam does here. Does he put a DC on that Shaman? Yeah, he's going to put the DC on Shaman. He could just go for Sky Turn just to buy him another turn if he wants to do that. We're going to see it in, which is very smart of Sam because Kenton had a Vileplume and a Revitalizer in hand to get another Vileplume out on the field. And that would be terrible for Sam. So both players will shuffle up. Going to get a new hand, 6, and we're going to see what happens. I guess Ken decided to put the 20 damage on the Ringaroo, just saying, hey, I know this guy's going to be stuck here forever, and might as well soften up while I can. Because if Sam evolves that Pikachu and Raichu, it's literally useless. Ken can just like smack the Vespiquen for knockout, and there we see the Raichu coming down, so I guess that's a fine play. And we might see the Circle Circuit happening here. Yeah, Circle Circuit. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter either way. Yeah, so we're going to see the Bee Revenge. I guess you want to keep the Pokemon that's not damaged in the act spot. So we see a Dartrix, Decidueye. He's got a Revitalizer in hand. Oh my goodness, he got back a Revitalizer in his hand. He could. I don't think he has a Audition hand. So we see a Grasstion in the active. We'll see a... Oh, so this is interesting from Kenton, because Kenton cannot play any more Pokemon now thanks to that Sudowoodo. Oh boy, does Kenton go for that? And we'll see a Shaman setting up. Alright. We're going to see 7 new cards coming down. He could try to think for a Lysander to bring out that Sudowoodo to knock it out, but I definitely think you take out a knockout on the active. You could double Feather Arrow. Maybe put... I don't even know where we put the 40 damage at. Man, I guess Raichu's really not going to do anything. He can just put it more on the, he's going to put that on Sudowoodo. Kid's like, I'm tired of that Sudowoodo. I need to get off the field so I can get rid of that roadblock. And, we'll see a Rage Leaf for the knockout. Kenton will go down to 5 prize cards. So we all tied up 5-5. And now Sam is free to play all of his item cards that he can this turn. So we'll see a Circle Circuit Raichu come up. And if Sam can find some Lysanders, he can easily win this game by knocking out those Shamans on the bench. He can take a knockout on a Shaman, take a knockout on a Shaman, and then I guess just like try to knock out a Tapu Lele maybe. Like if he fills his bench up and goes for a Lysander Tapu Lele, that's what you want to do turn 1 if it's possible. But if not, I think you just like take cheap knockouts on the Shamans as well. But Sam, it looks like he has 2 VS Secrets in hand. I think I see 2 on the right-hand side of his hand. And you can see he's thinking here. He's like, man, my hand's not the greatest. I don't know what to really do. And Sam is obviously in trouble right now. So yeah, what will Sam do here? I mean, Kenton's just going to keep knocking out these 90 HP Pokemon. Raise Leaf to hits perfect numbers. There's a Kobe coming down, and Sam has to be careful, because if he doesn't evolve his Vespiquen, Kenton can easily take 2 prize cards, like just Double Feather, or the Kobe, or Rage Leaf for the knockout, going down to 3, and Sam won't have Attacker, but Sam could take advantage of the Forest of Giant Plants that's still in play. He does get a Vespiquen in hand. Will he grab it in? Yeah, so let's see what he gets here with the Vespiquen. Does he grab it in to get a new hand of 5? And yep, that's what we're going to see. Now remember, Sam is all out of unknowns, so he can't use any cute farewell letter plays. He can't do anything exciting like that. So let's see, what does Sam get off this end? Does he find a Vespiquen? If he does not, then Kenton will easily take 2 prize cards and take the lead for sure. So Sam's going to get a good shuffle here. And what does Kent need? Well, all Kent really needs is an energy. As long as Kent finds an energy every single turn, then he's good to go. He's doing what he needs to do. And, man. Okay, so Sam did find a Vespiquen, which is fantastic, okay? And right now, we'll see Circle Circuit do 20, 40, 60, 80, 110. But if Sam had that Flareon, it would actually be enough for the knockout if he had on the bench as well. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because they have a full bench of 5, so 100, and then with the choice spin, 130, hit for weakness, 260. So Sam not finding this Eevee still, and even with everything else, he still can't find it. So it looks like we're going to see the Raichu actual retreat. We're going to see the Shaman come up. And we're going to see Sky Return for 30, or 50, sorry, because of the choice. No, 60. So yeah, Sky Return for 60. Now, you might be saying, why is Sam doing this? Well, I guess he wants to get a non-EX, an EX Tecker off the field. But, I mean, after you Sky Return, who do you send up? We see a DC going to Vespiquen, okay. And we see Sky Return for 60. Going to bring up the Oranguru. Now, Kenton can easily just not attack this Oranguru and get it stuck in the Axe spot. That could be a possibility, but I think if Ken has obviously if Ken has a Lysander, he wants to bring up like a Raichu or Vespiquen and take a knockout. There we see a Lysander go into his hand, and if you're Kenton, I think you bring up the Raichu, and the reason for that is you don't know how much damage Raichu can do. It can do like an untapped potential hit like 190, which can knock out your Decidueye. So I think that's what you do here. I think you Lysander the Raichu, take a knockout. Vespiquen, it has X amount of Pokemon in the discard pile, and it's hard for Sam to manipulate that like straight away. But Kenton does have a Field Blower in hand. He can get rid of the Forest. I don't know if that's good. I definitely think you want the Forest on the field. He does have a Grass Energy, so you can put that on the that guy. We see Double Feather to that. Sudowoodo, Kenton's like, you know what? I still hate this guy. I'm definitely going to do some more damage to it. And I think if you're Kenton here, you definitely bring up that Raichu. You take a knockout because Circle Circuit is the scary thing of this deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He gets swing for 140 damage, bringing that Decidueye up to 200. And yeah, definitely think you just bring in the Raichu, take a knockout, and just like make it Sam not able to do anything really. So let's see what Ken decides to do here with his Lysander. I know he's contemplating bringing which one up, and I definitely think, oh, he's gonna bring the Vespiquen actually. All right, so gonna bring the Vespiquen. Gonna take a knockout on that. Maybe he realized like, hey, Sam has too many Pokemon in the discard pile. He really can't fill his bench with the Circle Circuit. So yeah, I guess that's fine. Obviously, it's fine. Ken's here. He knows what he's doing. He does have a Field Blower to get rid of the Choice Band off the active Raichu, or off the bench Raichu, just so it does less damage. And if he gets in, he doesn't have it in his hand anymore. But looks like we will just see a Raise Leaf for the knockout going down to 4 prize cards. All right, so on to Sam's turn. You're going to promote the Raichu. It has that free retreat, which is always amazing. And let's see. Can Sam find a Skyfield? And a bunch of Pokemon. So it has 180, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 180 damage left. So Sam will need a full bench of 8 and a Skyfield to take a knockout on this Decidueye. Yeah, because he has to do 180, which still is kind of hard to do for sure, because you need a Skyfield Choice Band. Well, he already has a Choice Band. He doesn't have a Skyfield, and he needs 6 more Pokemon. But he already has all of his unknowns in discard pile. He does have one Shaman in hand, but I don't know how many Combis are left. I don't know how many Pikachus are left. There's a lot of things that Sam needs to hit here if he does try to go for the Circle Circuit play. So, let's see. Does he have step number 1, which is Skyfield? Well, there we see a Shaman. Okay. Which is what Sam just Sky Returned up to try to make where his opponent can't take a knock on it. There we see a Choice Band. His hand must be just full of nothing. Even with a Vileplume out, Sam can't play any of his cards. He's got a Sycamore in hand. I see a Flareon as well. And we see a DC to the Shaman. Okay. And yeah, I see a Sycamore, but his cards in hand must be like cards he does not want to discard, and that's why we see him not discarding it straight away. Because if he could just Sycamore, he would definitely do that. So yeah, this Sycamore, I definitely think I see a Flareon in there. And a little tidbit about Sam's deck before starting, he didn't put a Super Rod or Stretcher in the deck, so that Flareon is in there forever. So we see a Combi coming down, Vespiquen coming online as well. Okay. And does he find a Skyfield or not? Oh boy. Now, if he doesn't, does Sam go for another Sky Return play, send in the Oranguru, and just let it take a hit? That could be a possibility. Or do you just Circle Circuit here and start doing damage to the Decidueye? At one point, you have to start damaging the Decidueye. And that's a fact. You have to start like working on this Decidueye. Like Sky Returns is only going to do so far. But I guess if he Sky Returns here, he could just take a knockout next turn with the Bee Revenge, most likely. So we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Raichu and a Sycamore. Maybe finding another Pikachu. Maybe a Combi. He's going to look through his deck to see what's all in there. But yeah, it seemed like this paid off. It looks like Kenton will not get knocked out this turn. I mean, either way, Sam needed a bunch of stuff. He needed like a Skyfield. He needed a bunch of Pokemon. This card ball, did he not grab anything with that Ultra Ball? I think that's what just happened. I think he did not grab anything with that Ultra Ball. So we'll see a Raichu and Sycamore being thrown away, but unless I missed something, I blinked for a second and I didn't see. Okay, so you grab. Oh, maybe already has Shaman in hand. So struck for one. There's a Skyfield. All right, can Sam pull this off? We'll see a Pikachu come down and a Shaman. Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's doing 150 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's doing 150. He only needs one more Pokemon. I actually did the math wrong. He only needs 7. Oh boy. And there's a Pikachu, and I think this is going to be enough for the knock, unless I'm doing the math wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, whatever. He's got enough for the knockout for sure now. He's doing 190, and this is what I was kind of scared. But Sam will take a knockout going down to 3. Kenton's going to promote that Tapu Lele. I'm going to Kenton's turn. Let's see what happens. He's got a Rowlet. Does he have a Forced? What he needs here is a DC as well to knock out this Raichu, of course. And let's see. So Ken is going to Feather Arrow that Decidueye for the knockout, going down to 3. They receive Ultra Ball, going to start 2 cards from his hand. So now his bench is not limited to 4 anymore. So he's good to go. They receive Ultra Ball, discarding a Gloom and a Lysander. Okay. Let's see what Sam gets. Oh, Ken is actually going to go for a Shaman. All right, he's got he's not limited to 4 anymore, so he can grab a Shaman now and set up. He needs to find another. What he really needs to find is just a DC. If he can DC knock out this Raichu, he's good to go. He's got a Field Blower in hand. There's a Love Ball. Gonna grab a Dartrix, which he cannot put down because he does not have a Forest in play anymore. But he can still use the Forest, get rid of the Skyfield and the Choice Band on the Shaman on the bench. I think that's fine here. So yeah. Oh, the Love Ball goes in discard pile. Okay, we're good. Here we go. So the Love Ball goes in discard pile. We see a Forest Giant Plants coming down. Okay. Sam has to put his bench down to 5. And let's see who Sam discards here. We'll see the Shaman. You can see Sam's kind of in trouble here. He's going to discard a Combi. All right. He has to discard one more Pokemon. I don't think you discard the Shaman here because you need that DCE. I don't know how many special charges are in his discard pile. I know there's at least 1 because he special charged 1 DC back on the deck. And we see a Pikachu being discarded as well. We see a Dartrix, Field Blower, getting rid of the double Choice Band. Okay. We'll see a Shaman for 6 new cards. Kenton is going to get rid of all of his cards in his hand to try to hit another Decidueye. Kenton's like, you know what? I really don't need Vileplume anymore. I'm just going to try to dig for a DC and a Decidueye, in which it pays off. So, we'll see double Feather Arrow to that Pikachu. Or, 1 Feather Arrow. Sorry, he's already used 1 this turn when he knocked out the Decidueye. We'll see a Retreat, and we'll see a Raise Leaf for the knockout. I like how Sam every time Ken puts down his red dice, Sam's like, no, I like my blue dice more. So we'll see a Rage Leaf for the knockout. Ken will go down to 2 prize cards, and Sam has to take 3 prize cards. I don't know if Sam has to find a Lysander and a DC for his Vespiquen to knock out a Shaman. or maybe a Raichu, DCE, Lysander, not gonna Shaman, and then follow that up with another Lysander. Yeah, he needs to evolve into Raichu this turn. If he does not, he will lose this game because Kenton can double feather to that Pikachu, take a knockout, and then knock out whatever non-EX attacker is in the front. So we'll see a Skyfield coming down from Sam, most likely. Actually, putting Skyfield down might be kind of bad because Kenton could get rid of those Shamans off the bench. He can like put down more Pokemon and then play his own Forest and get rid of those Shamans. So he's an Ultra Ball. Sam's going to discard 2 cards out of his hand. Go discard a Skyfield. And let's see what other card he's going to discard here. And a Sycamore, okay. And let's see, he's going to look through his deck to see what's all in there. What can he really do? He might have to go for a Sky Return play. And there's a Raichu, so Kenton will not be able to win this turn. We see Sam count the cards in his cards left in his deck to make sure he doesn't get decked out if he plays a Sycamore or something. But yeah, does Sam have a DCE left? Does he have DCE Lysander in hand? That would obviously be the best thing to do here. DCE Lysander, knockout Shaman, go down to 1, and hopefully you can follow the combo up again. We see a Raichu coming down to the field. Okay. Alright, Sam's going to see there's 4 cards left in deck. And he has 2 cards in hand. He's going to play down a Shaman. Now, if he plays down a Shaman, he's actually going to deck out here. Because setup will, he only has 4 cards in hand. Setup will draw 4 cards. And he'll need like some way to put cards back into his deck. Which we know is only Special Charge because he doesn't play a Super Rod or a Rescue Stretcher. So he's going to cut the cards in his discard pile, see what's all in there. Seeing, hey, do I have a way to do this or not? Again, what's looking there now? Maybe not. So you can see Sam is, he's trying to think what to do here. What can I do to win this game? It looks like Sam is in trouble. He's got I see a Shaman. I think I see an Escape Rope. If Escape Ropes, who does Kenton send up? You probably send the Decidueye without the energies. There's a Shaman. And you're going to see Sam here is like, I don't know if I want to do this. He's like, okay, do I do this setup or not? And you can see Sam is like, okay, I'm actually not going to do this setup anymore. I changed my mind. And, yeah. So it looks like Sam's actually not going to, he might set up here. Does he know that does he play 2 Special Charge? Does he know that one's prized or something? And let's see, what does this setup do? Oh, boy. He's still debating, does he set up or not? I guess he must know that something is prized. And you can see he's like, oh man, what did I just do? And he's just tapping the Shaman. And yeah, he's not going to set up with the Shaman, okay? Let's see what else he decides to do here. Can Sam even do anything? He might have to go for a Sky Return. We see a Tapu Lele come down. He's going to see what's left in his deck. He has 4 cards left. Is one of them a Lysander? He's going to look in there to see what's left in his deck, okay? He's actually got a torn sleeve. He's going to fix that real quick. It's an Ultra Ball. Man, if only he saw the Ultra Ball earlier game, he would be okay. That turn 1 where he whiffed a knocked out just changes his whole game where he could have had the turn 1 be revenge or Circle Circuit, but missed the Ultra Ball and missed putting Pokemon in the discard pile, unfortunately. So, I'm going to get a shuffle. It must not be the supporter cards in there that he can really grab. And we might see a Sky Return for 30, but even then, how do you win this game if you're Sam? I don't think you can. You have to take 3 prize cards, while all Ken has to do is knock out 2 more Pokemon. He can even just license a Shaman EX, but we'll see Escape Rope from Sam. And if you're Ken here, you just promote the other Decidueye. It can't be knocked out. You can still use Double Feather Arrow to put 60 on a Raichu and knock out the Raichu the following turn. So we see a Raichu coming up. And we're going to see a Ringaroo for 3. There's a VS Seeker. Okay, let's see what he grabs with the VS Seeker. Is it a Lysander? And he's digging through his discard pile so quick, so he must have a Lysander Seeker. Going to grab a Lysander. Does he have a DC in hand? Boy. We might see the Lysander bringing up a Shaman EX. Circle Circuit for the knockout if he's got a DC. So yeah, we'll see Shaman EX coming up. We'll see a DC to the Raichu, and we'll see a Circle Circuit for the knockout going down to 1 prize card. Alright, so let's see what Kenton does here. Does Kenton have his own Lysander? If he does, he'll be able to bring up a Shaman and knock it out. So we see a Revitalizer, going to get 3 cards out of his discard out of his hand, or 2. So we see a Rowlet, and I think a Dartrix is what he just grabbed. No, double Rowlet. Okay, so double Rowlet coming down. We see a Forest. Okay. Can Kenton find a Dartrix and Decidueye? If he does, he'll be able to do 80 with the Feather Arrow and knock out the Raichu and maybe Razor for his last prize card. Alright, so we see a Love Ball coming down from Kenton, okay. And let's see if Kenton's gonna count how many cards are left in his deck. He's gonna play the Love Ball, grabbing a Dartrix, and I do see I think I saw a Decidueye in there. There's no full arts in there, and I definitely saw like a big full art card, which is definitely the Decidueye just staring in there. So yeah, we might see a Sycamore. Discard his hand, draw 7 new cards, be able to Feather Arrow, take a knock on the active. And what can Sam do here? Does he have any more DCs left? There's 4 DCs on the field. Okay. We see a one more time. I'm going to make sure that he Sycamore so he does not deck out. So we'll see a Grass Energy and a Sycamore, discard his hand, drawn 7 new cards. Now he could have gone for Int, but Sam has a Ringaroo, so it's really not going to work too much. And Kenton does find a Decidueye, so he can triple Feather Arrow to the active. We see a Revitalizer. Going to get 4 Decidueyes on the field. Oh my goodness. Oh man, so Kenton can now triple Feather Arrow to the active. Alright, 24 to 68. Sorry, he had to get 4. He had to get 4 on the field. So let's see what Kenton does here. He's got 4 Feather Arrows. He can put that anywhere on the field he wants to. Looks like you'll see all 8 going to the active. He actually needed all 3 of these guys to do that play. We see a Shaman EX coming up. And we might see a Hollow Hunt here. Kenton has not used his GX in either game. He can use his GX right now to Hollow Hunt to get back like a DCE and double Lysander. And what this does is prevent Sam from like Lysandering stalling. And you can have a Lysander bring up whoever you want to next turn. So yeah, we'll see a Lysander. We'll see a Lysander. And Trainer's Mail. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go for that instead. I guess he already has enough DCs left. He's not really worried about that. So on to Sam's turn. Going to draw his last card. Does he have a way to fill his deck up? There we go. Get at a little bit of his GS marker. It's first GX deck of the game. And I do apologize. These best 2 out of 3 are 60 minutes, not 50. I'm pretty sure I said 50, but it is 60. And we see Sam. Does he have a way to do this? I mean, does he have a Special Charge, VS Seeker, and nope, it looks like he ran out of resources. I mean, if he had a VS Seeker, he could have maybe won this game. If he had a VS Seeker Special Charge, he could have Special Charge, shuffled the DCs back in there, played a VS Seeker for Lysander, bring in a Pokemon, but we see Sam runs out of resources, and oh man, that turn, man, if he had hit that Ultra Ball turn 2 to knock it out, Sam would have won this game. But guys, there we go, Kenton Anderson becoming your Memphis League Cup champion. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Let me know what you think of the commentary and everything like that. And we'll see you tomorrow on Monday. Alrighty. Bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty. Bye.